is the Pugdom realm of the Pug King and home of competitive DBD. It's time to go to battle.
The Pug King close up. Now, you happy? Not performing monkey.
Who are they? Who are we casting?
Last night, first up, Oh Boy versus Madness.
I am flabbergasted. That was beautifully done.
You see something we didn't?
Did. The eyes of a hawk and the reflexes of a mongoose.
But
No, yes, he is. He's tunneling him hard. Camera is down. Where's that pesky Claudette with a flashlight?
Just know she's going to come from some angle.
There she is! Oh! Solar with a solar burn as Samurai leaps from the shoulders and pegs it off into the night.
better start
Okay,
going back
better
to the
start
hatch.
pegging it back. Way back is there. Are we going to see Devour sprint out the corn like a legend? The hatch is open. Where's Devour? There he is! There he goes! Oh my God, Devour!
But you're going to be the one to get hunted and camped.
He can smell him. He is.
Is he in the...
There he is!
Gambittor and Redbird are dead. He needs to get this hook. He does not get it. Hatch is available. Sprint burst is used. And she makes it out!
Killer Shack offering no protection. Cheeky little dead hard. Enabling that free hit.
He's going to...
Is it pride? Ego.
I think that's going to happen
Where's
again.
Where's this Claudette?
No! Oh my God! Out of nowhere!
That's 3 times in a row. That's... They need to change the name from K the Juka to K the Juicer.
K the Juicer, and you know that's what he's going to change his name to. He'll love that, especially he'll clip it for his montage. But let's see what happens. In the window, trying to force her around. Good play. Leading them down there, the 2. We wish them luck. Back in 2 shakes of a Pug's town.
And hello everyone and welcome back. First Champions of the Fog League B for another season going for us tonight with Team Reminiscent going against Team Devout. And for this first set we will be on an Odohaven map and we will see a Blight being picked by Team Reminiscent. Dino Melon going to play the Blight, and we're going to see already some nice jukes coming in from Jake. And we will take the first hit, but we will run into the corrupt area of the map, meaning all other survivors will work on other gens. So we will decide to drop the pallet, and nice bump logic coming in from Dino Melon, securing the first down quite early into the game. And with Bane Resonance being banned on the Blight, we can expect the Blight running Pop Goes the Weasel. So they will try to use Pop Goes the Weasel on the gen before it's going to be popped, and it's looking like the survivors have tried to double on the gen on the main building. They actually forced the gen, which is kind of huge because on Blood Lodge the main building gen is actually really important, but they will just basically trade their life for it as Slaughter just decide to go down after popping this first gen. So we will go for the slug to try to apply some pressure onto the other survivors, trying to force a second stage onto this Jake. And yeah, it's like actually Dino Melon is in not too bad of a position right now because they only have 2 survivors working on generators as we're speaking. So there's your second gen being popped, but we know for a fact that no other gens have progressed, and we just are we're just going to get a free second stage, but actually Claudette will go for the unhook, probably the deliverance runner of Team Devout, and they managed to go for the save before Jake got into second stage, which is actually huge because now, well, Dino Melon is not in such a good position anymore because, well, Slaughter got picked up and now we're chasing Jake, who might have decisive strike, and now we know that deliverance might be in play. So really nicely done by Devout survivors who managed to just turn the situation over. And once again, really nice pathing coming in from the Jake, using the structure of the style beautifully. Look at the distance they just have. Dino Melon will just decide to drop this chase, I'm pretty sure. And no, actually they will decide to commit to this chase. Trying to run this hero pallet, dropping it, stunning the Blight. Really nicely done once again. And Dino Melon will try to go for a flick around the rock. We saw a dead hard being used by the Jake. Unfortunately, Dino Melon whiffed the hit, so the dead hard was kind of useless. So we will get the down onto the Jake, and I'm expecting another gen to pop since they, like all of these survivors, just resetted. And I'm pretty sure the gen on the far right of the screen will pop soon, and we will find Slaughter and Claudette once again. We'll probably use Paco's Weasel on this gen. Brutal strengths being revealed as well. And we will just come back for the hook, trying to prevent the survivors from rotating towards the save. And actually I'm pretty sure Jeff will stick to his gen on the far right of the screen right now. And we have information on pretty much everyone since Jake is still sitting on the hook, and I'm pretty sure they might end up dying because we can see far away. We don't have any scratch marks, and we know that 2 of these survivors are working inside the shack. So we'll get the info in a couple of seconds. There you go, there's Jeff's gen, so probably they will try to go for a hook trade last second, but Dino Melon will try to go for a body block, and it's actually going to work out because they managed to body block the Claudette, forcing the Jake to die. Really well played, and another gen just popped. Really nice efficiency coming in from Devout survivors. And right now we will get the down onto Deshi, but what do we know about Deshi? Deshi might be the one running deliverance for Team Devout, so yes, it will be another 3 points being secured for Team Reminiscent, but I mean, they will just unhook by themselves in a couple of seconds after BLIGHT will use Paco's the Weasel on the gen. Slaughter dropping the shack pallet, avoiding to get the tag, and there you go, there's the deliverance being used on Deshi. And we're currently chasing Slaughter, who has not a lot to work with, unfortunately, running into Puck's corner, the famous Puck's corner. So we will secure another 3 points for Dino Melon, which is actually good because it's going to give him another Paco's the Weasel. And if we find Jeff on the gen they are working, we can actually try to potentially get a 4K coming into this game. And we can see that this gen doesn't have a lot of progress, and we're currently chasing Claudette, who is currently injured. So that means Intimidator will have to rotate towards the save on the ace, which means no one is actually currently working on gens. We will get another down onto Deshi, probably no decisive strike on the deliverance, and we will just rush straight back towards the shack. If ace get resetted, well, we have information that no one is actually working on gens, and this is actually good for us. For Dino Melon, I mean, we can see ace running away in the distance. They didn't opted to go for the reset, which means if we now find Slaughter, we will end up in a similar situation. Intimidator will have to rotate all the way towards the other side of the map to get the save on the Claudette, and still no one who's going to be able to work on a gen. Really nice flick coming in from Dynamel, securing another 2 good points for Team Reminiscent. And actually Dynamelon, just the fact that they were able to secure this kill onto Cake was just so huge, because now they ended up in a 3v1 with barely no gen progress for the survivors, which just turned the game around completely. And now we will use another Puckers the Weasel, and now all 3 survivors are injured, which means, well, it's going to be extremely hard to get a good chase. Nonetheless, Claudette going to manage to stun Dynamelon with this pallet, but no failed pallet actually spawned over here, so it will be a second kill coming into this trial, and it will just keep on being harder and harder for the survivors, because now there are only 2 remaining survivors and they still have a gen to do, and they have to do like barely 100% of a gen, because this gen will get Pop Goes the Weasel once again. And it's just, that body block was really huge for Dynamelon, really well played for this BLIGHT. And it was looking like the survivors were doing really well, but yeah, this just sequence just changed everything. And now we will probably chase the Jeff, knowing that they are the last fresh hook of this game. But actually it's going to be the Ace. I'm sorry, I thought it was the Jeff, but it's going to be Slaughter. And we can see what Dynamelon is trying to do. They are trying to find the survivors that are actually putting pressure on the gens. We saw Slaughter run all the way towards the other side of the map, but no interest in chasing them because no gens to defend over there. So that means we can try to find the Jeff somewhere else. We will just use the basic kick on this gen around the shaft, applying the basic regression on it. And it's looking like Intimidator are trying to not be found, and actually they were resetting in this corner, so we have the information now that both of them are over here, so we can commit to a chase, and especially if it's the Jeff, which will be the survivors we are looking for. If you are Dynamelon, we'll get the nice rush hit over here on these TNL walls. Jeff trying to rotate and use the fun bus, dropping the pad, then vaulting the window. No life being in place since we just vaulted a window, so it will probably end up in a down, and a really nice hit through the window. As Pug would call it, a podcast hit. And we will get another fresh hook into this game, and now I'm wondering what the survivors are going to try to do, because surely Ace didn't have enough time to pump this gen, and since Intimidator is a fresh hook, they will have to sit on the hook for 60 seconds before even thinking about a hatch play. And well, BLIGHT on Blood Lodge, and we can see both gates are really close together. I really can't see a way for Slaughter to get out of this game. Unfortunately, I think it's going to end up in a 4K, no matter what the survivors are going to do, just because it's just going to be impossible to get out of the Blood Lodge. And yeah, we're trying to just make sure that Slaughter doesn't pop the last gen, because it's still 2 points for the survivors coming into this next trial, and 2 points can matter a lot actually. And we're currently watching Intimidator move into second stage after checking all of our generators and seeing that they are all regressing or not being worked on. And we are sitting on the hatch waiting for Intimidator to, well, just die. And yeah, we will close the hatch and rush straight towards the gate. I'm pretty sure Ace will try to open the far gate, the one Dynamelon is currently looking towards, so that's where they will head straight away. I mean, there's not a lot Slaughter can do. We know that Wake Up is banned, so it's there's just not going to be enough time for the Ace to open the gate. And we saw a crow, meaning the Ace is over there. It's just, yeah, it's just unlucky for the survivors, not a lot they can do. And we're trying to find the Ace who might be hiding in a locker, or maybe edge map, or maybe it's, I don't know what they're trying to do. I'm pretty sure they're not there, because we saw a crow going back onto the map, and there you go. There's the Ace trying to get the gate open, and as I was saying earlier, it will end up in a 4K at one generator left, which is really nice from Dynamelon. It's just, if we just remember the situation they were in earlier into the game, we will get a nice flick coming in around the corner over here, securing the last hook stage of the game on Slaughter. So the game will end up in a 4K1, meaning the win condition will be 4K2, and well, depending on the killer spec for Team Devout, it's actually possible, but really hard to achieve. And we will see that in a couple of minutes as we are heading into lobby change. And we are back for trial number 2 for set 1, and we will see a BLIGHT mirror matchup. The BLIGHT being picked by Team Devout as well on the Blood Lodge. We know on COTF, well, we don't necessarily we won't necessarily have mirror matchups, but this time it will be a mirror match in this first set. So when conditions are down, as once again Pug would say, 4K at 2 gens remaining will be what Slaughter will have to aim in order to give the set win to Team Devout. And we will chase Vamp first using Bounce Landing, dropping down the main building straight away. We will try to loop around this filler pallet. Unfortunately, Slaughter slid around this structure, not able to, well, bomb as fast as they wanted to. And as we can see, spies from the shadows being used by Slaughter. Oh, what a hit on Ryan, the Zarina. Nice flick coming in. Oof, and a really nice hit through the pallet. Ryan not dropping the pallet soon enough, unfortunately, so it will end up in a down at 5 generators remaining. And once again, not a bad start coming in for our BLIGHT, which I think will be able to pop the first gen before the survivors will be able to pop. And with spies from the shadows, we just had information on 2 survivors, if that makes sense, because we're currently chasing Ada, who just went to get Zarina off the hook. So probably Deliverance being in play. Ryan will use live on this window and trying to give enough time to, oh, nice counter flick coming in from Ryan. Yeah, as I was saying, Ryan tried to give enough time for Slasher Killer to get Deliverance, and it will be the case. Ryan will go down eventually, but maybe Decisive Strike will be in play, as we're going for a little bit of slugging, getting in really good tag onto Vamp. The survivors have decided to pop the first gen of the game, which means we will have a huge amount of pressure on the survivors now, because yes, they popped 1 gen, but every single survivor is injured apart from the Dwight And we will have Ryan, who will go into second stage over here. Slasher Killer just got resetted, but we still have Vamp down on the ground in the jungle gym. Not in the jungle gym, sorry, at the thriller ballot. And we are trying to prevent the survivors from resetting Vamp and actually forcing this third stage onto Ryan, but it won't be the case. Unfortunately, Slasher Killer was able to go for the save soon enough, and right now Ryan is going to try to hold as much as possible for the survivors to go back into the game. But unfortunately, it will be a kill at 4 generators remaining, and this is not the same situation as our first BLIGHT was in, because right now we have a kill at 4 generators remaining, but we don't have any single gen progress. We have every single survivor's resetted, but the pressure is a lot more towards the survivors now, because they still have, well, gens to pop, because, well, win condition is 4k2 for Slaughter, but, well, the survivors still have to pop some gens, because getting 4k at 4 gens will give the set win to Team Devout. Slaughter trying to kick this gen, but going to get Blast Mine into the face. God, we hate Blast Mine, but that's such a good perk. And we will try to get a really nice tag, as we just got onto Vamp over here around the main building. And we know that the survivors are also putting pressure around the shack, because we had that information earlier. The Dwight was trying to get the gen, and we are trying to use the bump logic to go around the shack, and we will get another really good hit through the ballot, unfortunately. So we're back once again. All 3 survivors are injured. We just got some more information from the crows, and we are going to get another down onto Dynamelon, who was our BLIGHT in the previous trial. So this will end up in another Pop Goes the Weasel, probably onto, not onto the shack. Oh, nice goal coming in from Slaughter, actually showing me that I was wrong. They found a reset, because Vamp and Slasher Killer were trying to go for a reset over here, or maybe Vamp was using the medkit, and that's probably what just happened. Vamp just reset it with the medkit, and we don't have any pallets over here, but unfortunately we will slide around all these structures, not going to be able to get another tag onto the survivors over here. But still, the situations remain the same. We still have 4 gens to pop, and 2 people are still injured, with Vamp being chased. Now dropping chase, trying to actually go for kind of a mind game over here. That almost made out. Oh my god. Slaughter. What is that? It seems like every hit they're trying, it's just connect. And this will end up in another hook stage being secure, but another gen just popped for the survivors. And actually the survivors were so close to pop another gen, which would have been so huge. But now, well, this will end up in a Pop Goes the Weasel, another Blast Mind being used by the survivors. Really nicely done. And yeah, it's going to be really complicated for the survivors, because they will need to get a really nice chase, because they are kind of late into the game, if that makes sense. Well, they have 1 people already died, and 1 survivor being chased. Slaughter tried to go for the hit before Dwight was able to vault over the ballot, but did not connect this time around. And Slaughter is going to try to defend their gens, but actually the survivors are able to go for the reset. And this is interesting, because actually we found the Ada. I was going to say, if the survivors are able to fully reset, it might change the outcome of the game, but we will chase Slasher Killer, who is most likely going to be the Deliverance runner, and oh, we will get another good tag onto Slasher Killer. But as I was saying, we will chase Slasher Killer, who is our Deliverance runner most likely, because we saw them go for the save earlier. So I'm expecting them to just self-unhook straight away after Slaughter just leaves a little bit into the distance. And another gen just popped. And now, well, Slaughter cannot afford to lose a single gen. Otherwise it's going to be a tie or the set win for Team Reminiscent. And I was a little bit talking about Reminiscent earlier, saying they were in a rough situation, but actually they're not in such a bad situation, because, well, they have Slasher Killer on the hook, who has Deliverance, which means, well, they won't be able to force a second stage onto them. They will just self-unhook straight away as soon as possible. There you go, there's the Deliverance, and now we're chasing Vamp, and we need a proposed result now. We need it really, really bad, because the survivors are going to double onto a gen. And we just saw Ada trying to run around the jungle gen, because the generator is still regressing. We'll try to go for the vault, which will work this time, and oh, we'll try to flick around this wall of the jungle gym. We'll try to loop the jungle gym without any pallets. We faked going inside the jungle gym, and it will end up in a down. And now, will the survivors have time to double on the gen and pop it before Slaughter will have time to pop it? It's going to be extremely, extremely close. It's not the main building gen. Is it the far one? It's going to be the far one, and yes, they will have time to pop the gen. Unfortunately, Slasher Killer being saved straight away. And another blast mine. Is that the third blast mine of the game? Dino Melon, not joking at all with blast mine. Another good bit of information with the crows. Another good flake coming in from Slaughter, and once again all three survivors injured, and we know that the survivors are going to double on another gen, and they popped this gen around the main building. So this is now the tie condition. Team Devout can no longer win this set unless there is a penalty, which I don't think there is. But this will be the second kill into the game for Slaughter onto the Ada. And right now for Reminiscent, well, you achieved the tie condition, so what you will try to do is pop the last gen. This gen has some progress, but pop goes the Weasel. But the problem is, they are both injured, which means it's going to be extremely hard, and really nice dead hard coming in from Vamp. Mixing Balance Landing and Dead Hard was a good play, especially on the map like Blood Lodge, because it will make you be able to have Balance Landing for your first chase and then Dead Hard for your next two. And we are going to slug Vamp, because we know that Dynamelon is going to try to pop one of them two gens, and it's not going to be this one unless Dynamelon decided to pre-stealth, which would be the best possible play. And right now we will end up in a similar situation that the one Dynamelon was earlier into this first set, but actually we will find Dynamelon, so we won't have the same story all over again. We won't need to bait out the survivors to die on the hook before closing the hatch. We will secure the 4K even before that, downing Dynamelon on the edge of the map. And it's, unless Vamp manages to crawl far away enough, and maybe force a bleed out, which won't be the case because we just found them again. So this will be a 4k1, which means this will be a tie for the first set. So we will have another 2 sets to go, and we will see some really interesting killers coming in these next 2 sets. So stay with us because we're far from being over, but right now we're heading into lobby change. And welcome back everyone, and we are back for set number 2, and we will be on the Father Campbell's chapel this time, and the executioner is going to be the killer's pick for team Devout after getting the tie into this first set. Slaughter is going to try and get a really nice win condition for team Devout, going on this, well, kind of tricky map to play on, and it's looking like Slaughter actually got kind of unlucky on the corrupt, because as we can see the corrupt is pretty split throughout the map, and we do have a 3-gen around the circus, which is well known to everyone, but this is not corrupted, and if the survivors are catching up on it, well, they might just attack it straight away. And we'll take the first chase onto Vamp around this shack, dropping the pallet as soon as possible to get as much distance as possible. Slaughter will be forced to kick this pallet. Vamp going to vault this window using Lejayy, going into main building. Vamp knows they need to use main building as much as possible on a map like this, since it's so good, and really nice use of the power coming in from Slaughter. Almost a 2-tap onto Slaughter killer, slasher killer, sorry. I just mixed 2 names. That was kind of weird, yeah, but we'll get the down onto slasher killer, and we will see straight away Slaughter using agitation, and the survivors have caught up on the famous 3-gen in the circus, but actually they broke it, which means now Slaughter lost 2 gens and they don't have their 3-gen anymore. And it's going to be really interesting, because now team Reminiscent are in a really good position right now, because we just heard Slaughter using pain resonance as soon as they hooked slasher killer, but I'm pretty sure this gen didn't have a lot of progress because they just popped the 2 that Slaughter wanted to keep, especially that 3-gen around the circus. And right now you can see how spread the gens are. We have 1 gen around shack, we have 1 gen around the hook, 1 gen there behind the jungle gym, and 1 gen around the circus. So it just makes it pretty much impossible to defend for Slaughter, and especially with a killer like Executioner, who doesn't have like a lot of map control, such as Nurse or maybe Blight, but even Blight on this map is not ideal. And we will pop the gen around the shack. So right now you can see how spread the gens are, and we just saw the Renato trying to go for the save, but actually I don't think they have to save right now, because, well, you know how Pyramid Head works. They can just use the power to go through the BT and just basically kill slasher killer without them being able to do anything at all. So I'm pretty sure the survivors will just let slasher killer die, but we'll trade that with 2 gens. I'm expecting this gen on the left side on the 9, if you know callouts, on the 9 to pop in the next few seconds, and probably it's actually the gen around 8. So there you go, there's the gen around 8, and maybe the survivors are working on this gen, and yes, it will be the case. So all 5 gens have now popped, and you can see on the right hand side of your screen, No One Escapes Death is going to be into play for Slaughter, trying to get another fresh hook onto a hook basically, so no, it gets revealed right there. And I'm pretty sure the survivors will just, oh, and actually we will find the Renato, and this is not good at all, because we won't make it anywhere, and with no speed it's going to be unplayable. This pallet is already very, very bad. Well, it will make it even weaker if the killer has 4% haste. And we can see this gate being powered, and I'm pretty sure we won't have the time, and Noel will just come into in clutch, and Pallet Tour Guide will not be able to vault over on the other side. So this will end up in a 3-man slug, probably in a 4K0. Really nicely done by Slaughter. Noed coming in huge in this trial, giving Team Devout such a good win condition now coming into this 4th trial of this match. And I'm pretty sure you're not expecting Team Reminiscent's pick. I will keep you guys the surprise, but just reading this killer again just makes me just smile, because it's going to be extremely interesting. I actually have no idea how it's going to play out, but I think we will have a really nice game coming in, as we are looking for Vamp, who maybe try to crawl all the way towards the hatch, but it might be too predictable, and Slaughter knows that. And yeah, there you go, there's Vamp. So 4K0 is going to be confirmed just yet right here. Really nice win condition for Team Devout going on the survivor side in this next trial. And we're now waiting for Dino Melon to move into 2nd stage for everyone to progress into the dying state. And actually, oh, I thought with Dino Melon moving into 2nd stage it will force Vamp to move into 2nd stage too. So we'll have a couple more seconds to spend on Crodus, on the Crodus Bren. And there you go, Dino Melon just let go on the hook, so Vamp will do the same. So once again, 4K0, really nicely done by Slaughter. Noed once again coming in clutch and making Slaughter be able to turn what was looking like a 2K6 stages into a 4K0, so actually really huge. And we will see what Team Reminiscent will bring into the next trial on the killer side of things. And welcome back everyone, and there you go, there's your little surprise. Dredge is going to be picked for Team Reminiscent, and already we have the 2 add-ons that Vamp decided to bring into this trial, which will be Lavalier's microphone. I have no idea how to pronounce that add-on, and I'm really sorry. It's a French looking thingy, but I can't even say it, even when I'm French myself, which is kind of weird, but yeah. And the second add-on will be the field recorder, and I have no idea what that does, but I know one of them makes the survivors start into nightfall mode. I'm sorry, I'm not Pug, I'm not Jolie, I won't be able to tell you what the add-ons do, but what I can tell you is that Deshi is going to be the first survivor that is going to be put on a hook. So really nice start coming in from Vamp. A really early down, which will end up in a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, as you can see on the top right side of the screen. Pain Resonance being used on one of these generators, and we will go for the kick, probably a Pop Goes the Weasel, as we hear the gen regressing a lot after this kick, and judging by the sparks, it will indeed be Pop Goes the Weasel. And right now we are such in a good position for Vamp, because we have so much pressure on the survivors, with one survivor being hooked inside kind of a 3-gen because of Vamp picking Dredge, and well, it's going to give the killer a lot more mobility as Slaughter didn't have. So as even if, well, Vamp loses their 3-gen, they'll still be able to kind of defend it. And as you can see, Vamp is trying to body block the ace, so there she goes into second stage, but it won't be the case unfortunately. So this will be a hook trade into a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance straight away. The survivors have done well once again to not let their survivor go into second stage, as we saw in the first trial of this match. Another Pop Goes the Weasel is going to be used on this gen around the 2 if we are using comp callouts once again. And we just heard the Nancy over here trying to run around the carnival. We're going to try to use the lockers, really nicely done by Vamp, who will secure another fresh hook, and it's going to be another Pain Resonance going into the next couple of seconds, probably on the hill. And once again, Nightfall is now on, and the survivors will have to go for the reset. We just found Jeff, and we just had some information that another survivor was around, probably will be the one going to try to go for the save. Nice pathing coming in from the ace, going to reach the pallet safely without being injured. Really nicely played. And right now we are currently at 3 generators remaining. We are trying to force Jeff away from this main building gen, and at the same time we are trying to force the Nancy into second stage, as we weren't able to do that on for the Adam. And we can hear the survivor working on the main building gen. Unfortunately, Vamp doesn't have any lockers to be able to teleport towards into main building and put some pressure onto this survivor. And right now, as you can see, Vamp using the power to force Slaughter into second stage. Really nicely done, forcing Intimidator away from the generator as well. And we just saw another gen just pop into the distance. As we can remember, win condition for Vamp is going to be 4k1, and there's no way they will be able to body block for as long enough for Slaughter to get into that hook. And we are going to get another Pain Resonance, the 5th hook stage being secured on the survivors. So right now we got all the fresh hooks into the game, and we desperately need to get a survivor out of this trial. Otherwise it will be extremely complicated to get a 4k at the end of the game. Vamp trying to use the power to get a tag onto the ace, brilliantly done, getting a hit around this filler pallet. And I think we will see the same thing happen. And actually, Skirts once again, Vamp decides to prove me wrong, breaking the pallet. But another change just popped, and once it, what? I'm really surprised Vamp didn't go for a launch over here, because it seems like they got auto-aimed on nothing, and we completely lost the ace after they vaulted this power, and this is not good for Team Reminiscent, because now the last gem just popped. We are going to force the pickup in the locker for, and this is really well played, because now, as you can see, there is a gate all the way at the circus, exactly where the gen just popped, so we can probably, yeah, we will see 2 survivors go out, and actually we were able to get the Adam, who basically just sacrificed for their team. So it will be a 2k8 if I count correctly. Okay, no, it's going to be 2k9 actually for Valve. But this will give the first set win. Well, not the first set win, but the first set point, if I can say that, for Team Devout. Really nicely done that Noed saved Team Devout, and were able to give them this first set point. So we will see you guys in a couple of minutes as we're heading into tiebreaker. Well, set 3 basically. So stay with us, guys. And welcome back, everyone, and we are back, and this time what a fancy weapon this is, but it's going to be the clown being picked for Team Reminiscent on the RANCID Abattoir. And this is another really interesting pick, because I know clown can actually do fairly well on this map, and ooh, we will see probably a balanced landing being used on the Nancy, but unfortunately we will run into the structure over here straight away. Vamp reloading, and as you could hear in the background, Vamp just earned a token after hitting Slaughter. And okay, Slaughter was just stuck standing up. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, as I was saying, Vamp decided to bring in Save the Best for Last, which is going to be an interesting pick of Ferg heading into later on in the game, because as you know, Save the Best for Last builds up the more the game goes on, and I'm pretty sure Vamp will avoid chasing Adam at all costs. We will keep this gen using Pop Goes the Weasel. Pop Goes the Weasel being used once again by our killer this time around. We will get another hit onto the ace, actually not just yet, because as we remember, main building has changed a couple months ago, and there is now a pallet inside the main building, but unfortunately not a really safe pallet, and Cake just went down. But the main issue over here is that Cake actually ran towards the hook, so it will allow Vamp to prevent the survivors from saving Slaughter, and Slaughter will just move onto second stage basically for free. And this is not what Team Devout actually expected, because now they are ending up in a pretty sticky situation with Decisive Strike being banned against the clown. And just look at that situation for Vamp. They can protect 2 generators and 2 hooks at the same time, which is probably the best possible scenario. And I don't know if you are aware of it, but you can actually interrupt survivors from going for the save if you hit the bottle straight away onto the survivors. And I'm pretty sure that Vamp will just, or actually they won't try to go for the tunnel out on the, no, we will go for a tag onto the Adam. We will waste 4 stacks because of it, but actually, ooh, really nice fake coming in from the Adam. Another good fake Adam is going to be able to survive a bit longer into this trial. Really well played. And this is actually huge because, well, just the survivors could have ended up in a, well, 3 people being injured and 1 person being on the hook, but now 2 survivors are going to be able to reset Intimidator. I can't remember who is going to be the medkit runner, but as you can see, another survivor is going to be resetted over here, and we can see all of these survivors are fully resetted. And we just found Intimidator, who had the medkit, and 2 other survivors, so they just went for a triple reset over here on these TNL walls, but we weren't able to find the third survivor. And there's the Ace, there's the Nancy, so we have all the information that we need. Nancy not wasting time whatsoever, dropping the shotgun from 25 meters. I'm trying to slow Nancy down. Chemical trap being used on the shack pallet, so everything was planned. Look at the distance this just gave to the Nancy. They will be able to reach this cow tree, and we know how strong cow tree is, especially on a map like RANCID, because since the map got reworked, well, the RNG can be sometimes very harsh, and you might not even have cow tree on the map. And this time around we will have a pallet gym right next to a cow tree, which is not the greatest, but not the worst. And we will get the tag. Unfortunately, Slaughter didn't go for the vault the first time, so they will go down for the second time, but they will reach the third and final hook stage. Vam trying to interrupt Intimidator from popping the gen, but it won't be the case. The survivors have just popped 2 gens in the space of 3 seconds, and actually 3 gens in the space of, let's say, 10 seconds. Really nice efficiency coming in from Devout survivors once again, who just clutched up again. Like in the first trial, it was the body block on the, no, actually it was, I'm just talking nonsense now, what am I saying? It was actually Dynamel who went for the body block, but it was the Noed that clutched set number 2 for Team Devout. And right now we are currently trying to get the nicest result possible for Vamp, trying to use the bottles to go as fast as possible towards this gate, but they will not make it back in time. And now it's going to be extremely risky, because now if we do not find the Jeff, that means they are probably trying to get the pickup onto Deshi, knowing that we don't have Noed to work with since they hit the Adam after the last gen popped. And yeah, we're currently looking for the Jeff over here, but I'm pretty sure Vamp will just take the 2k as the other 2 survivors just went for the escape. So 2k7 will be the final result into this trial. So 2k with 8 stages will be the win condition to aim for Devout's killer. And we will head into lobby change, so stay with us because we will be back in a few minutes. And welcome back everyone, and we are back once again for Champions of the Fog League B Season 9, first match of the season, going all the way to the last set already. The start is already starting really well. We are going to see for the last trial of the game the Singularity being picked by Team Devout, and it's going to be really interesting, as I personally really enjoy playing against and also casting Singularity, so it's going to be really interesting. And I really do not know what it's going to be for the Singularity on the map like Rancid, because Slaughter tried to go for a little mind game using the overclock speed mode, and this time around the M1 will come through, and once again Vamp is going to be zoned in the shack using the overclock mode to run through the pallet, breaking it instantly. Vamp vaulting the pallet once, twice, 3 times, not vaulting it a 4th time as the first gen just popped into the distance. Vamp is giving us such a nice chase over here, really nicely done, and just what a good play once again from Vamp, and I'm pretty sure this will end up in a down over here, but really, as we just saw some magic over here. Vamp still making it back towards the Belgium. Slasher will go for the hit tank. Beautiful team play coming in from Team Reminiscent over here, but unfortunately, once again the A is going for a hit tank to protect the Ada, who was most likely dead over here, not having any kind of exhaustion perk, since we just saw them use quick and quiet on the window after vaulting it, and now the 50-50 once again this time around will be won by Slaughter, who will secure the first down into this trial, not before another gen just popped, which would make using a Scourge of Pain Resonance kind of useless because, well, we just saw 2 survivors go for hit takes, and Dwight is nowhere to be seen, so we just expected them to pop the gen as soon as possible, and that's exactly what they did. Ace is going to have to run around a jungle gym with no pallets, but will vault the window in time. Now Bloodless One just kicked in, and they just had time to vault over on the other side. Swift once again giving another really good chase for Team Reminiscent, probably going to use balance landing on this hill, going to make it back towards main building. What a good chase coming in from Team Reminiscent once again, but unfortunately Bloodlust will kick in for Slaughter, and it will be another fresh hook being secured for Team Devout. And actually, I need to remind you guys that since both teams tied first set and Devout won set number 2, if Reminiscent ends up winning set number 3, it will go down to overall points. And well, knowing that win condition is actually going to be 2k 8 for Slaughter, and I can tell you that Team Devout have a 7 points lead compared to Team Reminiscent, so that basically means that Team Reminiscent has to win the set by 8 points at least in order to get the win on overall points. So really hard, knowing that we already have 6 points on the board for Slaughter, and we will just force a second stage onto Swift unless Dino Melon is going to be able to go for the save, but not before Swift moves into second stage, unfortunately. But a third gen just popped, so things are still possible. This is far from being over. The survivors still can do something about it, as you just saw another gen just popped. But as you can see, Slaughter knows about their actual win conditions, so yes, they might lose the set, but they are trying to not lose the match. And if they secure this kill, over here on Swift. Well, they just need to get maybe 1 or 2 more hook stages, and this will give them enough points to get the overall win in this match. And it's looking like Swift's trial is going to be over in the next few seconds, because no survivors are around to go for the save, and I'm pretty sure they are trying to push this gen on the other side near the shack. And is Slaughter going to be able to prevent it from popping? And it's not looking like it will be the case, but the survivors are forcing it. But oh no, unfortunately Slasher Killer did not hold onto the gen and let Slaughter kick the gen, which means 2.5% regression into a Scourge Hook Bane Resonance. That was really unlucky. Team Reminiscent needed this gen to pop, and it wasn't the case, unfortunately. So Vamp is now on the hook, and Slaughter just needs to camp this out, and this will provide them enough stages in order to get the win. And we just interrupted Slasher Killer from healing with the medkit, and it will go for the hit over here over the pallet, and Slaughter will just decide to go for the slug. And it's looking really rough for Team Reminiscent, as we can see basically this gen, we can see the progress through the wall, which is kind of interesting. So we know that Dynamelon is somewhere around here. Slaughter will go for the kick on the gen to get some regression on this gen, as Vamp just progressed into second stage in the background. Just got saved by Dynamelon, so no one is working on a gen just yet. The other gen around the shack got pain resed, so no way the survivors will be able to pop this gen. And Slaughter just knows about it and will decide to secure another hook stage, because well, it's going to be 2 more points. And as I was saying, the actual win condition in order for Team Reminiscent to win the match was less than 4 stages, I would say. And it looks like Slaughter was able to prevent this gen from popping, and really nice pathing coming in from Vamp once again. Dropping the spell, trying to rotate towards these TNL walls, but against Singularity there's not a lot you can do. Slaughter will use his biopods in order to, well, infect Vamp, and this will just be impossible to survive. And yeah, as you can see, the Soma family photo coming in really handy for Slaughter, who will get another hook stage and actually going to get another kill onto Vamp once again. An EMP just got used on this gen, so I'm pretty sure this gen will pop, and I don't think Slaughter will have time to come back towards the gate before it's going to be opened. So it's going to be a 2k 8 stages. And oh, actually, no, it's not going to be enough for the survivors. Oh my, that's so unlucky. Once again, Slasher Killer is going to be chased around this truck, going to force the pickup, but will go on the hook. So this will give now enough points for Team Devout to get the second set win. So really well played from Team Devout, also really well played from Team Reminiscent. Both teams just offered us such a good match tonight, and so GG's to both teams. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you also to you guys for watching, even if it's late over here in Europe. Thank you also so much to Brooklyn for reffing once again. So the league is only getting started, guys, so stay with us, because tomorrow we will have another set of matches. So we will see you guys in probably, well, the next few hours, I could say now. So yeah, have a good one, guys. Thank you for listening and watching.
Join the Pugdom Discord for more information. Puglicious.